I like to add cosmos to my garden. They're tall and very elegant looking flowers. They're 8 petals and come in really bright colors, pinks and reds and whites. But they are native to Mexico. And the story goes that they found their way through contaminated horse feed from the meadowlands of Mexico is why you see them in other parts of the world as well as in the United States here. There are 8 petals. You'll see in the die cut has 8 shapes, so there's a different petal for each piece. Some leaves, 1 calyx, and a couple little stamens to put together. Now I'm going to start by shading the petals, and I'm going to use a little bit of the white, and I'll bring over a petal here. And I'm going to shade at the stem end because I think that's where it gets your most looking down and gives you the most look to your flower. After you've done that to all 8 petals, let's transfer them over here to the molding pad, and using the loop tool, we'll go ahead and just press down and you're shaping in the petal. Just drag from the top towards the stem line. Then you'll take your tweezers and we'll do the little pinch again like we've done on all our petals. And if you like that bend down, you can do it with your tweezer just to give a little bend to the edge, just like I've done there. Now I'll do that to all the petals, all 8. And then I'll start placing it around my calyx. Now my calyx is an 8-sided calyx. And you'll use the medium ball to go ahead and shape it by stirring onto your molding mat. And then transfer it over here to your non-stick pad. I'm going to get a little bit of glue. Let's hold that calyx in place so it doesn't slip around. And then take your petal and drag a little bit through the glue so you get a little amount on it. And just start placing your petals. There's going to be 1 around each projection. And they're spaced well so you can just go ahead and go around. Here's one where I've added the 7 petals. Here's the 8th one. I'm going to hold it down here. And again, that 8th petal just right through the glue. And so you've got an 8-petal flower. Now to work on the stamen, you've got what looks like a star shape and then what looks like a fork. So we're going to take your small ball, and I am going to clip these in half. I know they're really thin, but I like them even thinner. So go around and clip each one in half, like I've done this one. And then you take your smallest ball, and by pressing in the center, you really get it to curve up a bit. Now with this one, I'm going to cut these. I'm going to try to get 3 or 2 cuts out of each one, so you've got 3 little projections. It's teeny tiny, so you have to hold on to it really carefully, but it's got that little tab there, and that's going to show you where to roll it up at. So again, paint your glue, and then with your tweezers, grab that tab, and then start rolling towards the opposite end. And you can take your fingers and kind of fan it out a bit. And I'm going to take and dip this into the glue, and I'll add it right into the center of that. Now you can go ahead and, this is another one where I like to place the stamen into the center of the flower. So right in the center, before we add that pollen to it, you've got it in place. On the one that I've finished here, you can see where I've added the pollen, and it adds so much definition to that stamen. So let's go ahead and take a toothpick, load it up with some glue, and then dab the ends. Bring over your pollen box, and this is going to get some yellow, and I'm going to just shake it on top and turn it upside down. Let's move that out of the way. Now I've got a cute little lady slipper that this would be perfect on. So let's add some glue to the bottom, and then we'll add some leaves. We'll put it on the tip of the lady slipper. Now the leaves are done on your leaf pad, And we're going to take your leaf tool and do a stem line and bend backwards on it a little bit so you can accentuate that. You might have to use your tweezers to go backwards. But I'm going to take a little bit of the green and add the lighter green towards the center. Now the difference with these two here is I've taken a little bit of the distressed ink and tipped the outer edges just to give a little bit more shading. But that's up to you. I think it makes for a more interesting flower when the leaves have some definition to them. So we'll take and put them right under the flower here. I can go back and really accentuate these even further with some vein lines if you want to be that detailed oriented. I think it really adds to the leaf. Put this one right in front. So about 3 or 4 leaves, whatever your preference, but maybe on the side there. Makes a pretty tag, and actually that's a nice little garden slipper to go out in. The Cosmo, it's pretty.